has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Alright. Hi guys. Hello. Hello guys. It's me, Kyle, or True Offer, or, anyone you want to call me, but hi. Welcome to my review of Red Hook's The Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, as you can saw by the intro, and by this intro right here. And multiple videos that I've been showing you guys lately on my channel. I will be reviewing The Darkest Dungeon. So just to tell you guys, my history about this game right now. I have multiple videos of the video game on my channel for a while now. Lots of them. Me trying out the Crimson Curse, the first DLC that the game has, to just me being a complete baby about this game is very hard, and enraging about specific fights, to just showing some of the worst ones I've had with this game. And yeah, I played this game for quite a while. It's on my favorites in Steam, and so on my Steam page it says I have 400 hours on this game. So just to let you guys know, I think this number is a little inflated, just to let you know, because I sometimes just have Darkest Dungeon like running in the background while I do other stuff. Sometimes I leave my room and do something else, or I have to go somewhere and I just forget to close the game. I do that with a lot of video games, so I wouldn't say that this is, an accurate number, but I have played this game for a good while. It came out, I believe, in 2006, January 19th, by Red Hook Games. It was, so yeah. I would say, that's still a lot of experience on this game. So I guess it's just time to get into the general nitty-gritty of this game. I really do enjoy this game, a lot. It's challenging. It's challenging, in a good way. It's not entirely like complete bullshit, like some, so this game is good. It's challenging. It's fun. The art style is phenomenal. I like the turn-based action of it, really. The environment, the designs, the characters. I mean, why not? Yeah, the characters. There's a lot of them, but like it's all through text. The only voice acting we get is from, I believe, the narrator, which I believe is Julian. It is it's rather good. The environment. So yeah. I guess since I'm talking about the good, I will start off with the good.
Compassion
turn-based. I like how dungeon quality it is. How like each like class can take like up towards like an hour to maybe like 40, depending on how long you're going. What are you doing? What do you have to do? How will you do it? It's rather cool. It takes a while, and I like the fact that the game auto saves a lot. So you're not gonna accidentally do something awful when I mean, I like how the game auto saves and you and if something happens to your computer or your power goes out, you can just go back to the same spot. It's pretty cool. Hasn't happened to me a whole lot of times, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Auto saving constantly. So as you saw in the very beginning, there was this whole like spiel about this game is very challenging. This game expects a lot from you. Blah blah blah. I shouldn't say blah blah blah, but it expects a lot from you. Expects you to just. I mean, it's about making the best out of a bad situation, which I personally like. Not every. I will say this: not every dungeon crawl will go out the way you want it to go. 100%. There are moments where the game kind of screws you over a little bit, and there are moments where like, oh, I should have done this, or I should have prepared this, or I should have, taken this character instead of this character, or paid attention to this character's stress. There's a lot of things that you have to come into account with. There's a lot of things you have to pay attention to. There's a lot of things that you have to think about beforehand, and you can't just gather up your party and go, let's go on an adventure, yay! No, you have to actually think about it. You have to bring specific supplies. You have to do everything, and depending on how you play, it could be on a budget, which is again, it's very unique in that aspect of trying to push you as best as you can, and see how much you bend before you break. So there's that. So another good thing about this game is the designs. A lot of the designs are just fantastic. It's really good, from the characters that you play as to the bosses, to some of the monsters, and not just monsters. Certain human enemies also. I mean, there's one specific human enemy that I personally like the best, and that's Bruggen Wolf. From the event, The Wolves at the Door. I like that. I just like the overall look of the game. Like clear as day. It's like things. This game does not look like this game mode does not look fun to live in. Like the exact opposite. Everything sucks. Like you can just see by what these characters look like and what they have to deal with and how they're dealing with it. Like every day is a fucking struggle
on the brink, facing the abyss.
And I like that for this type of game specifically. It gives you a nice perspective in now what else? What else is there? I shouldn't say what else is there. I know what I haven't written down. Besides, characters designs, and how the game pushes you, and how long the game can be. So I don't know if you guys know this about me about this game, but I like these long games. I like playing a game for hours and hours and hours, and this game is long. It's very long. Doesn't necessarily hold your hand. I mean, it depends on what I'm escaping the word escaping right now. What difficulty you have the game on right now. It depends on what difficulty you have, whether or not the game will hold your hand or not. Which, even on like the easiest difficulty, which is Radiant, there's still moments where like it still won't tend to be hold your hand, just give you hints with curious and stuff. There's a lot of things to look into and keep track of, for the most part. A lot of things to I almost said, keep track of like twice. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's a lot of things to again keep track of, and how the game just does not want to hold your hand. It will throw you into the deep end, and it will sometimes push you down just so you know how to hold your breath. But yeah, there's also
a moment of valor.
see there, there's also some a certain unique mechanic, which is the stress mechanic, which can be a good and a bad thing from time to time. Stress mechanic is pretty I personally find it rather interesting, a mechanic. I haven't found a whole lot of games that use that type of things. That type of thing.
It would seem his taste for triviality remains unabated.
You saw
even now.
before in the pro fight that at some point in time after a certain threshold, people they start to lose their mind after fighting a whole bunch of like these monstrosities, which any person would do. Like everyone's upset, everyone's mad, everyone's scared. They're risking their lives just to save people, and it's not fun. So at some point in time, there's gonna be a breaking point where you think to yourself and you go, "Can I do this? Can I really do this?" And sometimes people crack under the pressure, and sometimes people they rise above the status, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I like that.
Their formation is broken.
It's weirdly enough, it's kind of realistic in this game, which is it's a video game, and I don't look for realism in a lot of my video games at this point in time, because if I did, then I wouldn't like any video game ever, and what's the point of that? But that is one of the more realistic parts in this game. Now, not to say this game is very realistic, because it's clearly not. Like there's a character called Leper, who has leprosy, whose whole deal is like, I have leprosy, everything sucks, but I'm very strong, and there's no cure for my leprosy, or I'm too far gone, to have my leprosy cured, which makes not very much sense, because in this game you get disease after disease after disease, lots of times, and it's kind of hilarious how not easily, it costs money, but how fast people can just be cured of like certain diseases. Scurvy cured, Black Plague cured, tetanus cured. Like it's that simple. Like we can cure the Black Plague and tetanus, but we can't cure the leprosy. They won't even try to cure the leprosy, even though he has leprosy. He can still get other diseases, and they cure him of those diseases, but not of leprosy.
Obliterated.
Like it's very funny. A lot of memes in this actual like video game. It's real nice stuff.
Injury, palpable fear.
Yeah, a lot of memes, and a lot of good art overall. The fan base is generally so I would not call them Dark Souls like people, because how Dark Souls like whole fan base is just get good, scrub, blah blah blah. You couldn't beat Dark Souls 1. Oh, I beat Demon Souls. Like with like both my eyes both my eyes ripped out, and my hands were out of my hack, while my mom was yelling at me to go to college and such. Those types of people. They gotta rub it in real hard.
Mortality clarified in a
From the people I've seen, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Very meme heavy with a whole bunch of funny stuff happening in game. Character designs,
body and brain.
character designs and art, and just generally pretty cool people. They're still like the whole superiority complex is still a thing, sadly though. You think Darkest Dungeon, is a bad game because you can't beat it. All you have to do is just get good and blah 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 blah. Which is, it's not prevalent. It's not too prevalent like other games, but like it's still there because you gotta flex on people because you beat a video game. So, I spent 15 minutes talking about the good. Now I spend 15 minutes talking about the bad. And so, you've seen what's happening in this fight specifically against the Count, or against whatever his name. It's from the Crimson Curse DLC.
The birthplace of dread.
So this is a very, 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 very common complaint about the video game is that the RNG. Now, I understand RNG. It's just to have set numbers and such. It's supposed to have everything random, not everything to be like that clear. In fact, add an effect of unexpected. But here's the thing. I'm not upset about the RNG like super hard. I'm more upset about the crit chance. Like I don't really care about. I'm not upset that my highwayman is doing like 1 damage in his riposte, or that 1 damage, or that the stress indicators can be very just out there and such. I'm more upset about the crit chance because I'll be very honest, crits happen. By the way, I play on Radiant, so I don't know if the crit chance for different game modes difficulties effects or change. I know Torchlight does go down a lot faster, and stress damage does go a lot faster on the more difficult variations and such, and there's a time limit. But when guys crit like every other turn sometimes, there is kind of
stage for heroism.
It kind of just feels like the game just tells you just to fuck off. It feels personal for some reason. Because
the walls close in.
Because crits from the enemy. I mean it's on both ends really. So crits for the enemies, they crit, and everyone gets stress and such. And with more and more stress damage, you become afflicted. And being afflicted is no joke. It's not fun. Now, affliction also kind of feels like RNG. It's you kind of want things to be a little even in your exchange, even though this game expects a lot from you and it's probably not even. But like there are just flat out moments of just interesting moments where you think to yourself and you go, oh man, is my character going to be virtuous this time? No, he's never been virtuous. Yeah, when's the last time my character became virtuous? Oh man, when is the last time my character became virtuous? No, he's either inflicted with paranoia, madness, masochist, like irrational. Like there's, and you can tell that that Red Hook put a lot more effort into having the afflicted stages be a thing, because if you look at the wiki, you can look at all the other quotes for whenever your character is afflicted or virtuous and such, and there's so much more. Wow, man, the audio is. There's so much more dialogue and movements and activities for when you're afflicted, to the point where it's kind of
as the enemy crumbles.
it's a little annoying, because like the game clearly wants you to be inflicted, so you can see. I mean, it's not for that specific reason, because I will be honest, yeah. When you put under a lot of pressure, you will probably break down a lot more than just rise above it. But it feels like it's an 8-to-2 ratio of it, which is kind of annoying. You saw one of my characters become virtuous in this video, but
A devastating blow.
compared to every other character that was had the mentality twisted, that was the only character so far that was became virtuous. Right now it's it's 4 for 4 for, I mean, 5 people are afflicted, 1 person's virtuous. It's kind of again a little skewed into that favor, which can be rather annoying, if I'm being very, very honest. Now I somewhat understand why it's like that, because besides not being an insane person while you're fighting, but Witches apparently also gives you a very nice buff of not being death resist. That's I played this game for like 300 hours and I still can't remember anything about this. But it gives you a pretty nice death resist buff, which can be very good. I've seen some amazing videos on Reddit about certain characters just surviving like abysmal amount of damage because of certain runs, because of them being virtuous and such.
As the fiend
Yeah,
falls,
there's that
hope
main problem.
blossoms.
There's also the curios. Now, not the trinkets, but the curios. The curios can be very good. Some of them are set, some of them are random. But one thing is certain, at some point in time you eventually then, oh, this curio is bad, I shouldn't touch it. But you get like a quirk that makes you touch it, which only makes things worse. Certain curios just are there just to be an issue. Like books. There's no books like reading in this game. The curio readings, like the books, the bookshelves, the scrolls on the ground. Like, I'm pretty sure a good portion of them, 2/3 of them, are just bad for you, and it is gonna be an issue. Either way you look at it, it's kind of ridiculous how certain things are just like, hey, let's give you stress damage right now, nothing else, stress damage. Or a quirk that's like detrimental to your party. The quirk system is also, I know it's not a problem. It's very cool and unique, but like certain quirks just make the game so much harder than it needs to be. This quirk makes it so that you have to read everything, even though and you can't use a curio for that. Like you can't, like, I really wish you were allowed to use the curio, like, even though like someone's gonna like want to use the curio, but at least allow you to use an item for the curio before you use it, just so you don't waste the curio, and your character doesn't get poisoned or bleeding or another dumb quirk or stress damage. No, it's just this a flat bear. Just you're using it now. Take it. Take it. Take the stress damage. Take this. You are going to be upset whether you like it or not. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Get out of it. Be upset right now. And it's kind of that.
The sin is not in
That's
being
like
outmatched,
that's the one point where like
but in failing
things.
to recognize it.
That's the one point where things are like forced.
I could not store such a
Forced
prodigious
difficulty.
amount of offal, nor could
But
I rid myself of it
there's
easily,
that.
possessed
That's
as it was
that's
by
not a whole lot of
unnameable things from outer
gripes
spheres.
per se about
When
that.
excavations beneath the manor broke through into an ancient network of aqueducts and tunnels,
Not a lot of gripes about
I
that
knew I had
specifically,
found a
but
solution to the problem of disposal.
those are like the main issues that I have about this game. If they tone down the crit chance, make it so that afflictions or being virtuous is more of a slightly more like less leading towards a specific tenure,
Its role in various
make it
arcane practices
so that
impressed me
it's
greatly.
like maybe 7 to 3
licentious
instead of like
impulse
9 to
gave way
1.
to a genuine
Maybe 6
professional
to
respect,
8.
and
Not
together
not 6 to 8.
we
6
began
to
to
4
plant,
chance of you being
harvest,
virtuous or
and brew.
you being afflicted. I mean, 6 on being afflicted chance,
There is
and I don't want
method
this game to be
in the
like
wild corruption here.
dumbed down.
It bears
But
a
I
form
want
both
this game to
wretched and malevolent.
be a little bit more closely knit. Because this game is challenging, and I don't want the game to be any easier. Dark Junction 2 probably will not be any easier. In fact, will probably be harder. There are flat out moments where you already saw before where I lose people to heart. A lot of people just from power attacks. Right now, I'm almost dead against this.
The brigands are undone.
8-pounder,
Our
13
family
pounder. I
crest
forget
is
what
once
the
again a
official
symbol of strength.
name is because it's a number in it. I almost died to them because I fucked up once.
Seize this
Actions do have
momentum.
consequences, and I do like
Push
that
on
about
to
this
the
game.
task's
But
end.
when actions are forced on you, it takes. If you you're basically just taking the control out of my hand and say, hey, this is gonna happen. Enjoy this small scene, which I'm not a fan of. But it's a small gripe because you're controlling these characters, but you're also sometimes not controlling them. You know what I mean? That kind of seems kind of dumb. Either way, this game is very good, very good. I still 100% recommend. Well, I don't recommend it. No, I recommend it if you enjoy challenging games. That push you a little bit. And don't hold your hand. I have
Wasn't
the hiccups.
always
Stop
accompanied by the fear of office. And there was a time when I could walk the streets or raise a glass in the tavern without concern for molestation.
This game puts a lot of love
Faithful as
into
the
a lot of
tide,
characters, a lot
one
of
precocious
items, a lot of
village
things,
waif made it her hobby
and a lot
to
of
shadow
bosses. The
my
narration's
every errand.
great.
It was charming
Oh, it's
then.
great.
Troublesome
Turn-based combat is pretty
later.
good. Environment, monster designs, just that crit ratio and infliction ratio of the RNGs. Like again, it's annoying to the point where like you want to rage quit sometimes, but like it doesn't
I
ruin the game.
always
Like certain
wondered
people on
what
Steam say it
became of
does.
the unfortunate little
It's
waif.
it's a good game. It's a good game. Can't wait for Darkest Dungeon 2. I will be playing that on PC, and I will probably be sharing the love on my YouTube channel as well. I would give this game a solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Really enjoy it. All the DLC, all the characters, and I hope Darkest Dungeon 2 makes the game improves on there's not a whole lot of shortcomings in
The
this
great
game, but like
thing I had managed
improves on
to bring
tweaks a
through
little bit more
was
and gives us
brutish
a lot
and
more
stupid.
great things about it, and a decent more characters
Moreover,
too.
It
I can't wait to
required
see that.
prodigious amounts of meat to
Hopefully Red
sustain
Hook,
itself. But this was only a trifling concern.
outdoes himself.
After
But
all,
yeah,
I had
8
a
out of 10,
village
and I'll
full
be
of
seeing
it.
you guys next time for my next review. Bye bye, and I hope you enjoy your day, or try to.
A nameless abomination. A testament to my failures. It must be destroyed.